Good morning, goddammit. How y'all doing today? This is Sid's Reef. So, after 5 years of being out of the hobby, guess what? I am back, and we are going to be setting up a Waterbox 15 Peninsula. It's a mini, so it's a nano tank. There's been a lot going on in the last 5 years that I have been through, and well, it is about that time to get back in the hobby. And I found some time for it, and there's a lot that's been going on that led me up to stop uploading videos. And one of those reasons was I was in the military. I had to move, and I had to sell my whole entire aquarium and all my livestock and everything to one of my buddies who still has the aquarium today with all the livestock and everything. So maybe I can make a video about that down the road, but his aquarium looks amazing, and it's everything that I gave him. And it just blew up. So we can do that at a later time from our previous videos, but now we're going to start up a new tank. It's Waterbox 15 Peninsula Mini with a AI Prime light. Here it is right there. And we're going to go from there, and if you guys like my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the like button, and then go ahead and hit that bell icon for all the notifications, so when I come out with a video, because we're going to be creating up to 10 to 20 videos here in the future, just off of initial building this, and then that's not including livestock, how I'm taking care of the tank, what I'm doing for it. I'm trying to make this an ultra low maintenance tank, so it should be something that that I'm not constantly taking care of all the time, but it's going to look amazing. So anyways, with that being said, let's get started with this, okay? Okay, so now we're going to open this thing up. So we have the box here. There's all the stuff it comes with. Obviously, aquarium, filter sock, nozzle. It should come with a pump also. I heard the pump sucks in these things, but we'll keep it going. So we'll be the judge of that. Keep an open mind on them. Okay, and there we go. Open it up. Okay, so we have comes packaged pretty good. Okay, so we have, I'm guessing this is the pump, filter sock. I'm gonna take this filter sock thing out, and I'm gonna show you guys what I do instead. Because filter socks take too much room. Here is our nozzle. That goes in right here. And that hole. Okay, here's our filter media. This stuff's pretty good. Carbon, bio balls, bio sponge. I'll use a bio sponge in that. And of course, directions. But who reads these, right? Who reads these? What is that? It's a sponge. I'm a big proponent of leaving as much room in these because you don't have much to work with, right? So here goes the return pump in here. By the way, this is glass. This isn't plastic. So it's nice to see that. But using this, some sort of, it comes with a filter sock, but you can have some filter floss instead of a sock to catch all the big chunks, and change that out every 3 days or so. And then below it, you have your charcoal, you have layers, and then that all happens before it reaches a skimmer chamber, which you can put a skimmer in here, biopellet reactor, and then this can be your return pump chamber with your heater, your return pump. That's what I plan on doing to it. But I bought something, so I have, my room's kind of a mess right now because I'm getting this set up, but I have a box of all the stuff that I bought, and just for the tank, which I got a Neuro 3 for the tank, but I got this thing and it was pretty cheap, and it's an in-tank basket, and this thing fits water boxes. It'll fit into the into that chamber. So I gotta go get my X-Acto knife out and cut out the bulkhead retainer on the cutout right here. This ring, I gotta cut this out. But yes, I'm gonna pull this thing out and then put it on the stand. So that's all that comes with, really. It's pretty simple. Good packaging, by the way. Good job, Waterbox. I'll check to see if there's any cracks or anything, but I don't think there is. So, okay, cool. Well, that is the Peninsula 15 Mini. Okay, got the tank out. I pulled out the ring that went into here. I don't know if y'all can see it. The ring that went into here. And you got these ledges in here. I don't think you can see it that well. But there's some ledges that they have. You can... These... And I found the perfect solution for that, and that's to use a X-Acto knife to cut it out. So I'm gonna cut these out, and then so I can use my thing that I bought right here. Okay, and this just allows me to add layers of filtration, right? And here's the cool thing too. You can have a sponge layer, carbon, and then your bio media right here, or you can have sponge carbon biomedia, or your media for the and then your media rocks in here, and then on the bottom you could put a light and put a refugium right there and put like a little ball of algae inside this, cut out a spot in the back to put your cut out that little film right there, and then put algae in there, put a little light on it, a little tank light, and then have a little refugium in there. Wouldn't that be cool? But we're not going to do that right now. We're just going to stay simple today, because if we're going to do something like that, it's going to be down the road. If I'm having nitrate problems and stuff, parameter problems. Anyways, we're going to pull these out. And I only have one hand, so let's see if we can do this. Okay. It's cutting. Yep, I'm going to have to come back to you guys with this, but I use two hands for this. But you'll not see these in 2 seconds. Okay, so I will be back. Okay, so we just cut them out. These are what they look like, these little sticks. It took like literally 2 seconds to pull them out. But this is the jig I told you about. Basket, okay. Black, so it's nice. It's concealed, but you can stick it in there. If I can get it in there. Okay, it's got this hook on it. I don't know if y'all can see that. But it's got this hook that sits on the edge. The only reason why I don't like this is because it wiggles. Like it's only hanging on one side. It's hanging on one side, so it's like tilted. So the bottom's going ding, 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 because it's hanging on one side. So what you can do is, there's not a whole lot of room. When you hang it on the ledge like this, there's not a whole lot of room. So one thing I did was I just took it and dropped it down. And it lowered it a couple inches down there. You can't really see because it's all black, which is nice. But it's right here. It gives you room underneath the grate to put your filter media right here, so it can fall down into it. instead of it being right here. It doesn't give me that much room, and it just comes to the side of the filter media or floss or whatever. Anyways, that's it. Cool. So we're gonna pull this out. Now remember, the back side it's going like this. Okay. And then the front side, this side, the open side, is gonna face towards the back. And the reason why you want to do that is down the road, if you have there's no reason for it to the open side to be over here, but there could be a reason to do it on this side if you want to cut a piece of this plastic out and put a refugium light in there. All right, so we will actually I'll put some filter media in there, and then the next thing I'm gonna do is set up this pump and bulkhead. Let's do the filter media first. So I'm just gonna use whatever they gave me, which this stuff's pretty good, I guess. It's not too bad. Here goes this, and there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat on how to filter a tank. I just don't understand how I don't know. I've seen some oddball ways to filter a tank, and it works. It all works. It's just nothing, against it. And, the ways that I've found more successful to do a tank is, especially one of these, is to be able to have as much room as possible for filtration, skimming, and all that stuff, dosing, and all that stuff, in order to utilize a tank like this. Because no matter what, you're gonna have an overstocked nano tank if you build it up enough. You don't have to have an overstocked nano tank. Some people just don't, but most people that I know that get into this hobby that want to make a huge, gnarly tank that's completely overstocked with corals, you have to have as much room as you can back here, and it saves you light years of headaches to do it the way I'm doing, to utilize as much room as you can, because the way they set these up is they want you to, they don't set them up to be compatible with how the user wants them. They have them set up so you can put a filter stock in here, filter media in here, and a pump in here, and that is it. You can't do anything else. No skimming, no nothing. I mean, to me, it's a little closed-minded on what people want to do and how to do it. The tank is amazing. This thing is amazing. So these are just little tips and tricks. I hope the company fixes that. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this guy down. We're going to cut him down to fit him into here. And then once we do that, we'll put that in. Okay. And then, we have carbon. Just going to rinse these out. And then we have bio balls. So obviously these are too big for the thing, so I'm just gonna use like half of them. Maybe it fit. No, I don't think it would fit. It might fit. The whole thing might fit in there, but these are pretty big bags. So we'll get that going and we'll put her in, and then we'll start working on the pump. Okay, so here is the pump. Okay, so here's a couple things for this. This is the dreaded pump that Waterbox isn't. Oh God, I just dropped something. This is the pump everybody's complaining about with Waterbox. They won't change it. I think they have a contract with a pump company saying we're going to sell all your pumps for X years, with our pump. I don't know if that's the case or not. I'm just guessing, because they won't change these. They won't change the product line to something more better. You can buy pumps extra for your tank, but they won't buy a pump that comes with a tank that's decent. So I've heard. Okay, Now we're gonna try it out, and if it's horrible, then I'm gonna go online and go buy a pump. But we're just gonna use this for right now. I'm just cycling the tank, so it's not that important. But look how this is set up. Okay, so it's on plus all the way. I might end up turning it down a little bit, but the intake is right there. Do not stick this thing up against where the intake's up against here, or anything. You have to stick it almost sideways like this when you put it in. Like that. You can do whatever you want, really. It doesn't matter. But for water flow purposes and whatnot, I would stick it in like this because it gives you that that room right here between that bulkhead and here to have water flow instead of cramming it up against the wall or like this or like this. You're better off going like that. And I think that's with any all-in-one tank that you get from these guys. So and the cord's gonna come out. I'm gonna try to have it come over this corner right here, but that's where that's at. So I'm gonna put this top on, and then I'm gonna screw it in, and I'll show you guys how I do that here in a second. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. See, there's a light right there. Okay, so you screw this side in, and this receives it. So you screw this, and then this, you just hold this, and then this will tighten up. But I was gonna put it on this side. I moved it over to this side just for it being down there. I'm gonna stick my hand down here. Okay, so there's no gaps or nothing. I had to cut the hose. Down to fit the pump. So just remember that. This kind of works out too because it leaves room right here. I can stick my heater in there. Doesn't really get cold where I'm at, but doesn't hurt to have it. And that's probably the next thing we're gonna do is put in the heater. And then that is in my box of goodies down here. Which is this guy right here. That's the pump box. It's garbage. I bought everything on Bulk Reef Supply. I've always shopped at Bulk Reef Supply before with any of my stuff, so I just got a 50 watt. Like I said, it doesn't get hot over here. If it does somehow get cold enough at night, this thing will kick on for like 2 seconds. Because, sometimes it does snow out here. I'm in Texas, so let's turn off that. I know this isn't really like an edited video or nothing. I just wanted to have I wanted to do something like live. I don't want to like have like a live stream or nothing, but like something real time kind of deal, because I don't want to show you guys what it's like to set up a tank in real time. I'll probably just go up on the neck like that. Okay, now we can turn on the light again. So this guy will probably have to go in right here. Which I'm cool with. Here. Put this guy right here. Cool beans. So we got him set up right here. And that's about it for that. I got it on 77. I'll change it maybe up to 78, but 77 is a good temp to have it at, just for cycling. Okay. I'm not gonna plug anything yet. Obviously, I don't have water in it, but yeah. So now we're gonna move to. Yeah, see, I don't have anything in here. I mean, I want to keep this like this. Maybe I'll put a piece of rock in there or something like that. Something small. I got some rock left over from downstairs. I'm gonna go get my let's see, what else can I put in here? Oh, I can set up, so I got a Toonsy. Didn't get that from Bulker's Supply. I had to go find that somewhere else. I'll put that in after. That's not sand. Yeah. Okay. Water maker. That's it. Don't need that. I guess I could put in my Neuro 3 pump that I got, which. So if flow's coming this way, I'll probably want something coming this way. So I'll probably end up putting it over there. I don't want to put it anywhere. I just want the display to be the display. So I'll probably put it probably in this one. I mean, if I have to, then I'll use it. But I guess that's one perk of having a filter sock, right? Because you have the filter sock there, and you can put whatever you want on underneath the filter sock, whereas this is a little more constricting to put anything on a bulkhead. So maybe we'll put it on here on the center section somewhere, causing flow to come around. I just don't want any dead spots. I don't know. So AIs are pretty nice, and they're not cheap, but they're better priced than the other ones. How do I open this? Excuse me. I thought I opened this thing already. I guess it didn't. Did it not? I did. Okay. So here is. That would be I believe that's our cord. Comes in there. It's different countries. There's the thing. The thing. And here is our pump. So we'll get a good spot for that. I'm thinking up here somewhere in this area, just so we have flow coming this way. Yeah, cool. So stay tuned for that. I'll post that in a second. All right, cool. Set this up. Put it right here. There is the thing, the thing. And then there's the Neuro 3. Now, it does come with some stuff. I got a little rack here for all my equipment. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. So this basically just has the holders on it. I'm going to hold off on putting the holders on there, because if I need to move it down the road, or if I put my rock in here and it doesn't fit, I'm going to want to put this somewhere else. And, maybe I want to put it, like over here, but I don't want it on there. So I have to figure that out when the time comes. Yes. So we're just going to leave it hanging, and then, there it is right there. That's the only thing that's going to be in there. Down the road, I'm going to end up, as my tank matures and I get a cleanup crew in there and whatnot, I'm going to get a skimmer and a biopellet reactor. And then that's pretty much it for this tank. So I'll have skimmer, hopefully only takes up like that much, and then biopellet, but we'll see how that goes. Like if I just need to tube it in or what, how this needs to work, I'm not sure. We'll figure that out when the time comes. But in the meantime, I think it is time. I said time like 3 times just now. Time. Right now we are going to add our rock. I'll show you the rock I created for this tank. I measured it out, pre-landscaped it, aquascaped it, whatever you want to call it, with measurements, so I had enough room. Hopefully it fits. There's always surprises. And then after we put in the rock, we're going to put in the sand. You always put rock before sand, right? That's another thing they kind of do on Waterbox TV, is they put in the sand before they put in rocks, but you know, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another, right? So, like I said, there's a million ways. They're not wrong, but I've seen people put like a grate down and then they put the rock on top of it. If you're worried about your glass being cracked, this should not crack. This glass should not crack at all. Should not. And you're not sitting there taking the glass and slamming it onto the rock onto the glass. Rock and glass do not sound good together. That's why people don't do it. Okay? I've never heard, taking rocks and putting them on glass. Like, that doesn't sound great, but in all actuality, it's fine. I've had many tanks where the rock was directly on the glass and it did nothing. The tank was completely fine. And that's not to say that's the reason why you should do it just because it's fine. No, the reason why you want to is because if you're putting rock down first, it's going to be stable onto the base of the tank. When you put sand down first, then rock, if you end up getting a fish that digs its way underneath the rock, it could bump a rock. And if you don't have your stuff glued together, which a lot of people just don't do, they don't glue their stuff together, it's going to fall and then you're going to have broken glass. Okay? And to say, well, if you plan on having deep, stuff that digs in your substrate, that digs in your substrate, then you can put the rock on it first. No, that is a wrong statement. No one ever plans to have digging fish like a goby or something, or a snail, or something that likes to burrow itself, that has a huge shell that can bump something. Okay? It's completely wrong to preach that you should not put rock on glass at all, and or put sand down then rock, because you can have a catastrophe waiting to happen. I've seen people break their glass just putting rock in it, but it's because they had a cheap tank. This tank is not cheap. It's very nice. So that's my I'm gonna get off my soapbox here on the rock and substrate ordeal. But that's what we're gonna add next. We're gonna put the rock down first, and then we're gonna go ahead and put down some sand on top of it. Alrighty, I will be back with the rock. Okay, here we go. So I got my rock in there. So I created this design just with $80 of Carib Sea dry live reef rock. I don't think it looks that, I guess it looks alright, but I have a detached section right here. I push down on it, so if I put anything on it, it won't give out or nothing. But this section is not attached, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to leave room for the edges here, and I didn't want to deal with it. So this piece of rock was actually a huge chunk, and I just chiseled it down. That's why you see all this white right here. And then I siliconed some stuff. I let it set for 2 days, so it's good now. I rinsed it off really good. And cleaned it. JB Weld, rinsed it off, cleaned it real well. Make sure if you're doing all this stuff, rinse it and clean it real well. But I wanted something that had some depth into it. I wanted a little cave, so why not get an arch in there, right? And then I also wanted something where I can cover the bases of these and then put things on them in different areas. And you get spots with no flow, spots with flow, spots with high flow. You're creating that. And then we still have room, because the water, I would say water line is probably going to be up to here. So it's going to give me a good couple of inches to grow some stuff in there. So, you can't really get too crazy with the aquascape in these things, but make something cool. Waterbox had one where they created a spiral, a thing where it was pretty cool looking, looked like a bowl. But as far as I was keeping corals in mind when building this. Where would what go, and how can I make a structure where corals are going to thrive? You know, that is all to be considered when doing stuff like this. So it's just all, you know, it's all just... Oh, I got a chunk missing here. It's alright, getting some depth. Anyways, that is that. I might move over that piece around. That's a cool view right there. This is going to be a cool tank. Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the sand, and we're going to put the sand, which is the Carib Sea Fiji rock. I like that stuff. We're going to put that in there. It's live sand. We're going to put that in there, fill the bottom of it, and then after we fill the bottom of it, we're going to put in the water. After we put in the water, we're going to put on the light, and after we put on the light, then we're going to finally, you know, place this thing. We're going to place it right now before I put water in it, but I'm just going to... I think it's actually where it needs to be. Anyways, that is that. And I'm going to put the sand in next. Okay, so we got the sand in there. I got a piece of plastic in there so it can float as it's dumping it in there. Got a little hook on there. And then a pump hooked up to this. So I got 5... The salinity in this 5 gallons is about it's at, instead of 0.02 or at 2.6, it's at 3.0. So I'm gonna use the auto top off to equalize it out, and then we got 3 more 5 gallons at 0.2, 0.26. So, all right, well, I'll plug this in. Hopefully this isn't a disaster. And, a lot of you guys are like, you're doing it on carpet. Yeah, I know I'm doing it on carpet because I have nowhere else to put it until I get my new house. But everything's dry, so it's perfectly fine. All right, let's see. Sorry. Let's see what's gonna do to me. Okay, we're rolling. We are going. So water's coming in. Hope this thing doesn't start leaking. Heater, we got this in there, pump, heater, neuros in there, all my media, everything's good. So we are going strong. All right, well, I'm gonna fill this thing up, and yeah, I'll do a time lapse. Okay, so I overfilled it a little bit, but that's okay because you see I overfilled it. But I'm going to, this is making a lot of noise. I wonder if I can put something in there to fix that. Anyways, I'm going to turn on my neuro now and get some flow going. Just make sure my substrate wasn't getting picked up. The pump on this thing is super loud. If I adjust it, yeah, it's not that loud if you just keep dingling with it, but I shouldn't have to do that. I'm gonna stick my hand in there soon. And see if I can mess with it, but the pump is incredibly loud. I'm probably going to buy a really quiet pump. I'm liking this so far. I'm going to let this evaporate off, essentially. And then I'm going to stick on my auto top off to just get the right level. Get this water cleaned up. My salinity's probably a little high, but we'll get it checked. Anyways, I am going to turn on my neuro, read the instructions on it, and then turn on my light and get that set up, and I'll do a time lapse of that. Alright guys, so this is the AI I put on. Got it linked down here. Gotta do some cable management. My cable's back here looking a little sloppy. But I have a mounted power strip on the back of this, and it's got buttons so I can kick off something if I want. The next thing to go on here is a protein skimmer, and it's gonna go in right here. I gotta figure out where this light's gonna go. But I also, if you look at this, I had to put a piece of floss right here because it was super loud. But I fixed that. I mean, temp's coming up. Let's see what the temp is right now. Temp's at 76.1. So it's looking good so far. The rock looks good. Sand isn't getting kicked around too much. So I just gotta cycle it. So I'm out of focus here. There we go. It's already clearing up a little bit. Wanted to clear up some more, but you know, one thing at a time. I got my auto top off set up. This is my thermometer too. You probably see the lights on in there. You see a little glimmer right there, but auto top off is set up. I got it set up to a fresh thing of water. I gotta fix all these cables. It's bugging me right now, but water's set up, so it'll automatically feed the tank with water. Narrow's doing good. I had to turn it down a little bit. I'll probably kick it up later down the road, but other than that, we are set. Just waiting for it to cycle. So thanks for tuning in. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. That was the setup. It's all ready to go. I just gotta wait for it to cycle. So I'm gonna get a protein skimmer here. I'm getting the K1 protein skimmer. It's pretty much the only protein skimmer that's gonna fit in the back of this. Every other hang on the back or anything like that, it doesn't really fit on a Peninsula water box, unless you got the big all-in-one 70-inch Peninsula. Then you can put any skimmer on there, but except for some ones because it's all in one. But this one only is super small. The back is super small. I'm also going to change out the pump. Pump is super annoying. They need to change that. They need to figure that out. It's probably just a business thing, that the reason why they have those pumps, but I mean, it's not that bad. It's definitely livable. It's just very loud for what I want for a return pump. So I'm getting some one that's a little more heavier duty, and that is a little bit more quiet. So I'll be coming in the mail tomorrow with my protein skimmer. And that is it. I'm just gonna wait a week or so for it to finish up, and then we'll be done. So as we go along, I'll make more videos on equipment for this Peninsula Waterbox 15, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks guys for tuning in, and don't forget, if you liked my video today, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, the little bell icon for all the notifications, and go ahead and like the button. That'd be awesome. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video.